Welcome to the Do It All Dad, your podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Controlling our kids through comedy can make our kids great again. And this is episode 66, Not My Daughter's Role Model. This is Hanukkah, strolled down memory lane. Daughter stares at her Hanukkah book gift titled Rebel Girls. And my younger brother's fiance says, "Do you know who Hillary is?" And my daughter says, "Yeah. A two-time loser, alcoholic, deplorable, who stole China from the White House on her way out the door. Am I close yet? Can I get a holla for some holla?" Do you know who Hillary is? Do you know who Tony Podesta is? He has enough paintings with kids in bondage to make Marilyn Manson blush. Do you know who Hillary is? Rapist enabler, Russian dossier, financier, best-selling voodoo doll in Haiti year after year. Can I get another holla for some holla? Turns out that Chelsea Clinton used money from the Haitian Relief Fund to pay for her lavish Manhattan wedding. Well, at least she's not ugly on the outside anymore. My wife says it's sexist to make fun of Chelsea Clinton, but she's not even ugly anymore. Plus, I think Alyssa Milano tends to be a divisive twat on Twitter too, yet I love the fact that she has singing a slightly different tune and has called out the Women's March for being blatantly hypocritical for allowing Linda Sarsour, the apparent moderate face of Islam, to march there, knowing that she promotes genital mutilation, which ties into Sharia law. And meanwhile, we got JQ voting fake news pro Colin Kaepernick, Man of the Year, and he poses in happy-go-lucky pictures on Linda Sarsour, which is a completely ridiculous look. That's like wearing a mutilated clit on your fro, bro. Can I get another holla for some holla? Do you know who Hillary is? Do you know what spirit cooking is? Hillary's campaign advisor, John Podesta, does. What? Blame WikiLeaks, not me. Seth Rich lives. Do you know who Hillary is? The real bully who stole the Democratic nomination from fake news socialist Bernie Sanders? I know who Seth Rich was. Do you? I thought I'm a native New Yorker. Bloomberg did a good job at the city. I thought he was going to run. Similar to Trump, he was going to finance his own campaign. He was capable of it. He wasn't held hostage by special interest groups. But then at the last second, I found out, he's not going to run. And then you find out at the last second, Bernie's going to have the nomination stolen from him. And then afterwards, I'm thinking, okay, so much for this being the year for atheist Jews. Can I get a holla for some holla? Daughter, do I know who Hillary is? I know you can't name one good thing she accomplished. And stealing the DNC nomination from Bernie Sanders doesn't count. Do you know who Hillary is? I don't look up to cheaters. Ever heard of Jeffrey Epstein? He's like the Jewish Sandusky. Well, Epstein is tight with Bill, all right? Do you know who Hillary is? A slacker presidential candidate who got out-hustled, outclassed, and out-messaged by Donald J. Trump. Am I close yet? Can I get a holla for some holla? Do you know who Hillary is? She said we'd all hang if Trump wins. But don't stop believing in impeachment miracles on my behalf. Do you know who Hillary is? The Antichrist? Don't worry. Jesus defeats the Antichrist. So keep some faith in the Jesus comeback story. Will you, people? The scary part, folks, is that I actually had to, when I used to hear lines about Trump being the Antichrist, I actually had to Google Antichrist to figure out what that meant. Because at the time I'm thinking, well, that's what Pig Vomit calls Howard Stern private parts, so can't be that bad. So I was talking about my younger brother's fiance. Second fiance in like 2 years. Nice girl. But this was excessively annoying. But produced this great material, so I don't really care. So, again, for those of you just chiming in who tend to skip around, I have no idea. This is Hanukkah, 2018. My fiance, pushing a book, Rebel Girls, which is a great book. But Hillary's in there, which ruins it completely. Really strips it of all credibility whatsoever. But there are great role models to emulate it. Hillary obviously not being one of them. So here we go. And this is my fiance. And again, it's always, people always say, oh, it's the Trump supporters that are divisive and it's the Trump supporters that start shit. No, it's always the other way around. You're the one filled with hate, not us. Our guy won. Can I get a holla for some holla? Do you know who Hillary is? You mean the wicked witch of the East, my daughter says, who cheated the debate with Trump by getting the questions in advance. Just Google Donna Brazier. Can I get a holla for some holla? Donna Brazier admitted that Hillary was given the questions in advance. And you thought she was just so naturally robotically programmed by Nazi scientists at IBM that made the IBM did make technology that made it easier to identify European Jewry that was shipped off to slaughter in the Holocaust, which is a true story. Like, for example, if I had a conversation with like Watson, right? Watson Computer, he's like the big AI guy over at IBM. He's like beaten Jeopardy before. So if he was in this office right now, I'd say, so Watson, so did you know that the guy you were named after, okay, the scientist, the German Nazi scientist sympathizer that you were named after, you do realize that he did develop technology that made it more efficient for the Germans to identify European Jewry? And then the Watson Computer replies, no shit, Sherlock. Thanks, Dr. Watson. I appreciate your honesty. So, again, this is my daughter having to deal with my younger brother's fiance pushing the Rebel Girls book on her, saying, "Do you?" And Hillary, of course, is in it because she's not in jail yet. Do you know who Hillary is? You mean Hillary Hammertime Kankles, the treacherous bitch who sold our uranium to Russia? Can I get a holla for some holla? So this is a piece called "Shoulder Rides on the Shoulders of Funny Giants." Why are your eyes still bugging in comedy heaven, Uncle Bernie? I can understand why Kevin Hart would be surprised to get in here, but not you. Neither does America. Shoulder rides on the shoulder of funny giants. Classy move, Uncle Milty, paying your funeral costs, Lenny. At least I didn't have to wear a dress to score a leg up on the competition. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Thanks for the shoulder ride, Uncle Red. I wouldn't be able to see Wilson Pickett bring down the house at the Apollo and Comedy Clown Heaven with so many Afro clouds obstructing my view. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Looking good, Freddie Prinze Jr. You look well rested for a change. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Am I supposed to hide in your bag of dildos when it's your turn, Uncle Patrice? Ha! Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. So, what's weighing you down more, Uncle Milty? Uncle Milty was known as having a exceptionally big schlongage. So shoulder rides and the shoulder of funny giants, and you should check out. You can get it like on a CD. There's a Milton Berle CD where he roasts Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like the funniest thing ever. One of the best jokes is where he's talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's schlongage, and he says, "I saw it. I saw your pee-pee. It looks like Danny DeVito sleeping next to two pillows." Great joke, right? You're welcome. Shoulder rides and the shoulders of funny giants. Do you think this can make the blooper reel for the remastered basement tapes of the Larry Sanders Show, Gary? Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. How am I like touching the ground, Don? I thought Jackie Mason was a tiny Jew compared to you. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Did you really shit yourself during your druggy run years with Jessica Hahn, Uncle Sam? Sam Kinison replies, when you do Giant Stadium in front of 85,000, it's all downhill from there, kid. Still, Sam Kinison's cameo in Back to School. Funniest 2 minutes ever. End the story. Oh! Sam hates it that I just gave him that shout out, but like totally stripped the credit or shout out by topping it off with a Dice. Because he got jealous of Dice's success because Dice had more experience playing those sold out stadiums than Sam, and Sam was able. I mean, Sam wasn't complaining. He was able to do like those auditoriums. 1,000, 3,000, but Dice did the Rose Bowl with Guns N' Roses, and that's a tad cooler than Bon Jovi. No offense. So, and Bon Jovi is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, by the way, and they're still making amazing music. and they're great role models. They've never been drug addicts. And I took my daughter to see Bon Jovi. I saw at Mohegan Sun. Although, after intermission, my daughter says, "Daddy, I don't recognize any of these songs." And I said, "Well, that's because it's John Bon Jovi's life, and he already has our money." Besides, I'm not complaining because we already heard Bad Medicine. And that's all I need. Oh, oh, oh. Can I get a holla for some holla? Shoulder rides. On the shoulders of funny giants. On the Mark Maron podcast, Obama said, "You were his favorite stand-up comedian, Uncle Gregory." Talking about Dick Gregory. And then Dick Gregory says, he really wanted to say Flip Wilson in drag, right? Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Uncle Richard, talking about Pryor. You do know your best friend, Mr. Mooney, being Paul, only dedicated 2 paragraphs to you, Max, in his pamphlet-thin autobiography. Richard Pryor replies, "That Blair Underwood wannabe is crazy." Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Why aren't you dead yet, Mort Saul? Big influence of Woody Allen. Then again, I'm sure, Mort Saul, you die 1,000 deaths every time you see Bill Maher do your act in real time. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. He used to do his act with the New York Times underneath his armpit or sweater. Shoulder rides on the shoulder of funny giants. The roast suck without you, Uncle Geraldo, Uncle Greg Giraldo. Jeff Ross isn't any easier on the eyes either. Shoulder rides on the shoulder of funny giants. I'm not taking magic mushrooms to see or to realize that we're all interconnected as one, Bill Hicks. Yeah, just tell me another funny dinosaur bit. You know, my big sister likes dice better than you. Don't die on me now. I want to hear the dinosaur bit. Bill Hicks would hate it if he knew that my daughter found that was funny with him, but he's got to deal with it. Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. It's just a shoulder ride, Uncle Carlin. There's no need to strip the moment of all feel-good joy by renaming it. Your daddy didn't give you enough for these, did he? Shoulder rides on the shoulders of funny giants. Who wears a robe? To Hershey Park, Rodney. Rodney says, "Kiss my giant ass, kid. I made back to school. Show Uncle Rodney some respect. Things are different in Comedy Klein Heaven now." The end. So I've got Georgia on my mind now. Spoke with a nice bud, later in life bud. Sounds like we've spent all this time hanging out, but he's been a great supporter and endorser of mine. His name is Paul Stonick, and he's the director of UX for the Home Depot. Worked at Barclays before that, Viacom. I went to Viacom when I worked at for Robert Half in Manhattan. And he's a true mensch, as they say in Yiddish. And he, what's his name? F. Scott Fitzgerald says, second acts don't exist in America. But Paul Stonick is proven F. Scott wrong. Yeah. Because he moved his family from Jersey to Georgia, and he is not looking back. He just told me that Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South. I love the ring to that. So I now have my wife looking at real estate down in Georgia. My pitch to my children, my sons in particular, is that the creative trim will be basically 50,000 levels higher than what they'll be forced to begrudgingly accept here in the Yenta country and shrouded East Coast of America. You could say that that's anti-Semitic, but I don't give a fuck because I've been bashing Linda Sarsour forever, major league anti-Semite, and I've been defending a president that was represented Israel who has 4 Jewish grandchildren, so don't really want to hear it. But at this point, I had this conversation with my wife. I said, "Babe, I just want to be surrounded by like pretty Southern gals in sundresses on like Moss Line streets, on like Spanish Moss Line streets." And my wife says, "I can wear sundresses for you." And I'm thinking, thanks for the pressure to force my wife to get serious about soul cycling out of her need for Spank, Sandra Bullock and Blindside. Can I get a holla for some holla? Yeah, Georgia on my mind. Really, babe, I said, yeah, I just want to be surrounded by pretty Southern girls in sundresses. And my wife said, I can wear sundresses for you. And at the same time, I was also thinking, this move could get my wife in the sundress sporting shape after all. Thanks again, Sandra Bullock and Blindside. Really glad I forced the issue to insist on my wife watch that movie. with me, 15 years after the fact. So yesterday, folks, I had shared with you a piece, what Gen X parents understand. It was a real meaty treat, but I've made some additions that I want to share with you that I think you're going to enjoy thoroughly. So here we go. And again, so just to be clear, I'm 41 years old. So I graduated high school in 1994. Okay? So I don't feel old. You know, my children keep me young at heart, which is great. And I haven't been drinking beer for the past month, but if I'm at Target with my kids and I decide to, I'm like, ooh, that's a good deal on Sierra Nevada Pale Ale 12-pack, the Pale Ale that never gets stale, I'll indulge once in a while. And I'll still get ID'd. And I'll usually get semi-tense and say, so when exactly do you think I managed to bang out these three children exactly in high school between chemistry and pre-calculus junior year? So, and they usually have no idea what I'm talking about. But, really, I mean, it is a little bit ridiculous to get ID'd, at 42 with three kids in tow. It definitely makes you feel like a teenage dropout mom from Tallahassee. Whenever this happens and I get ID'd, I say, thank you for making me feel like a teen dropout mom from Tallahassee. And also remind me when I get home to change the title on my LinkedIn profile to Crystal Meth Homemaker. Can I get a holla for some holla? So what Gen X parents understand, part 2. The only reason we don't pull the plug on our Facebook accounts is because Mark Zuckerberg made us too lazy to produce a photo album for our kids, let alone one from a wedding 8 anniversaries later. Starbucks is evil. Between AIDS, the dot-com crash, and 9/11 soon after, we had enough to be on edge about already. Again, Starbucks is evil. We were conditioned to equate Nirvana with Starbucks. As a result, we like our comedy, like our coffee. Dark and bitter. Joan lives. Starbucks is evil because it makes us resent bare minimum baby boomer grandma. We can't even dress up for a Skype call with our grandchildren in retirement, who's had like at least 100 days to prepare. And then during the call, she like scars my kids forever because the hair is all tousled and messed up, looking like she's been up all night watching Maddow, waiting for more a money shot tax reveal returns that never materialized. My dad's wearing the same ashy pair of tennis slacks from like '86. Yeah. And my mom's shitty Dunkin' Donuts coffee breath is fogging up the computer screen as we speak. Can I get a holla for some holla? Did I forget to mention Starbucks is evil because they never advertised the calorie count for cafe mochas with whipped cream in college when we got addicted to them in the first place? Last, just to completely nail my point home, for reinforcement purposes, Starbucks is evil because spacious Starbucks lounge areas throughout Soho and Manhattan made us all wish for that loft in Big, occupied by 14-year-old Tom Hanks. But we can't afford the luxury to dream big when we can't afford to take our kids to White Playland to visit the original site of the Zoltar machine after paying property taxes in Westchester County alone. More of what Gen X parents understand. We're able to call our son Chef Samuels whenever we get him into smoked salmon and eating anchovies pre-puttanesca. Plus, we can help ensure our children don't have gun-shy palates by force-feeding them sushi and fried up bean curd and red-hot chili peppers under the bridge, so they'll remember how much their taste buds were blown away that day. Children sponge up our habits. We know this. So beer cleanses are good. So your 7-year-old daughter doesn't feel compelled to fat shame you anymore. Daddy, I've got a 6-pack. You've got a 0-pack. What Gen X parents understand. Your children won't behave like spoiled, out of control, ramification-free anarchists if you hold them to a higher social standard than Antifa. What Gen X parents understand. We better befriend a member of the deep state to scrub our math scores from our permanent record if we want our kids to respect our command of high finance ever. Daddy, how many zeros in a trillion? Daddy, do you really have to Google that? Are you financially illiterate or something? Is this why you always call yourself a degenerate Jew? This is the Do It All Dad Your podcast. I only do one more. What Gen X parents understand? Kids aren't sold on the Adam and Eve story after binge watching endless episodes of Futurama. Daddy, if God created the universe, who created God? I say God went back in time in a time machine made by Elon Musk. And my dad says, real convincing, Dad. Thanks for making me an atheist at 4. This is the Do It All Dad Your podcast, dad-friendly entertainment for you and me. Can show my kids the comedy, can make our kids great again. And I will talk to you guys soon.